What's up, what's up, what's up? I'm Brandman Sean.
And I'm Corey.
And we are back with episode number 31 of No Labels Necessary podcast. You can catch us every Tuesday, every Thursday on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you listen to your podcast, talking about music, business, and the content creation economy. Now, as you guys know, we like to start these episodes with what?
A little bit of advice.
A little bit of advice. So, got some really dope advice, some thoughts, and a strategy all at the same time from my guy Kato, man. I got a lot of respect for what Kato's accomplished. Kato was number 4 in terms of most duetted artists on TikTok.
That's crazy.
All right, number 4 on the list, behind Lil Nas X and Ellen, once again, Abigail Barlow. He's number 4, but he's ahead of Jason Derulo, Lizzo, John Mayer, Tim McGraw, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift. If y'all don't know about Kato, he doesn't have any situation that's anything like those artists.
Yeah.
Right? This dude is, I don't know all his business or the technicalities, but he's pretty damn independent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's used this platform to maximize and create a lot of opportunities for himself. Matter of fact, Kato, we got to have you and chop it up so you can talk about those opportunities, because I don't want to put your stuff out there if you don't talk about it. I don't know. I don't watch all your videos. But I think y'all should take advantage of this viral music strategy that costs $0 marketing cost and help Kato blow himself up. Check it out.
You know, I post all my beats on TikTok, on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, who got bars for this? Who wants to sing on this? And based on like what pops there, I'll use that feedback and I'll reach out to the artist. They might have gotten 1 million views on a duet that they did over my beat, and boom, I just found a new artist to work with. We put out the song. It's already got a built-in audience because it already went viral on TikTok or whatever. And still to this day, like my biggest hits have been discovered that way, and we spent $0 on marketing.
Now, what do you think about this? Because there's some people with thoughts in the comment section. I want to know what you think about this first.
I mean, I agree. I think that the open verse challenge is probably one of the more genius social media marketing ideas to come out. I do think it's starting to get a lot more overrated because so many artists have kind of like taken to it and used it. But like when that first hit the scene, I was like, oh, this is genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, because just like he said, you're able to build a little marketing funnel off of all these people who already like the song or want to be a part of it in one way or another. And, you know, just with the nature of TikTok, if one of their posts does well or goes crazy, then that benefits the whole ship, you know?
Yep.
And like, I don't know if he started it. I don't know if I want to give Kato that much credit, but I think he really might have been like one of the first like handful of people that really like benefited from it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
100%.
Like hit it hard.
100%. This dude is, I don't know all his business or the technicalities, but he's pretty damn independent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's used this platform to maximize and create a lot of opportunities. But Kato has a great strategy here, right? Number 4 in terms of most duetted artists, but still people hating.
Yeah, I was gonna hate.
People are hating, and I don't even mean hating like, yo, Kato, you're not that dude. You're not great. A lot of people think Kato's awesome. I don't really see no hate comments like that. What I'm seeing is more hating from a standpoint of not respecting the strategy. People hating on the strategy, not the artist. All right. So let me see. Derek Miner said that's dope. Shout out to Derek Miner, a Brandman Network member. Let me see. Emilio Rojas says, hoping for virality is not a marketing strategy. You're my bro, Kato, but this mentality is buns. The algos respond to engagement, not artistry, not creativity, not talent. That's why there is so much BS in the feed, because people love fuckery. If you're basing your art on what does well on a platform that is geared towards shareable content, then the art suffers, in my opinion. I call lies. Lies. Why do I say that, man? Like, for one, let's start with the art comment, right? Right? You know my perspective on this.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is the algorithms don't care if it's good art or bad art. They care about engagement.
Yeah.
Right? So it's up to you to put good art out there. Period.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I assume you put a beat on the platform that had nothing to do with the algorithm yet because you created that. That was all your artistry. Artists got on it. They came from their point of artistry, right?
Combined
this
artistry.
thing is not viral yet.
Yeah.
He's just saying, I'm going to push the one that people responded to the most. So that actually isn't necessarily saying I'm only creating music derived from how the platforms are responding. Yes, I am using it as a part of my production.
Mm-hmm.
However, my beat had none of that in mind. The artists themselves who got on it, they didn't have any of that in mind. But then as they got on the platform, people really loved it. And then again, even if it was trash, cool. It's trash because it's trash. It's not viral because it's trash because it's trash, but it's not trash because it's viral.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something can go good that's viral. Something can do, go bad and be viral. Whatever. Because we also know bad songs don't go viral and good songs that don't go viral.
Mm.
That has nothing to do with the argument. But I think so many artists get caught up in, and Emilio, I don't know you, you know what I mean? But so many artists get caught up in the perspective of art having to be solely them. All right. Even if we want, or solely from their perspective, their own creative interests. But I also believe that there's different types of art that people don't respect. Right? That's the classic traditional purist. Hey, I'm this artist in a room and I come up with these ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have collaboration. So now it's not just from you, it's coming from other people. And then there's different levels of collaboration. I might be collaborating with the entire community, the platform, the world itself. I might be the producer. I'm not the one pushing the buttons, right? The other former producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not pushing the buttons or playing any instruments. I might not even be songwriting, but I'm putting it all together. There's an art to producing or directing a movie, right? All of these things are forms of art. There's art in business and understanding how to navigate deals. All these things are art, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's only one way that people tend to acknowledge art, but I think even that itself is founded on quicksand.
Yeah, like it's a whole like purist type of thing,
Yeah.
Because it always feels more like the frustration is, and I could, speaking for these artists, I just feel like they haven't all found a way to communicate it yet. But I feel like the frustration is more so with not understanding how to communicate their art through the medium more than the medium itself, because
yes.
Like that's personally why I hate that argument of like, oh, it's not art, because like you said, it takes away from it takes away from like how talented like some artists like really are in their medium. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes me think like I have visual art homies, and it would be like my painter homie telling my homie that draws a pencil he's not a real artist because he draws on notebook paper.
Yes, 100%.
Like nobody will make that argument in the real artist community. It's like you've chosen your medium in the way that you want to express this thing. I've chosen my medium in the way I want to express this thing.
Thanks.
It's no different in the social platforms, bro. A person that can make beautiful videos on YouTube but can't make a great TikTok isn't a shitty content creator. He or she has just found their medium. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the medium that for whatever reason they thrive and they figured out how to like express their artistic view a lot better over here.
Yes.
So when I see these arguments, I wish that the artist would say, hey, I haven't yet figured out how to be creative and artsy over there. Instead of saying like, hey, this is trash and that's not art. Because that's really what you're trying to say.
Just because it's successful over there.
Because you're really trying to say like, hey, I don't know how to express my artistic vision over there. Which arguably is more of a you issue than the platform issue. That's
not arguable. That is what it is.
Yeah.
All these things are tools.
Yeah.
Right? Paper is a tool. At one point in time, paper was TikTok.
Yeah, facts. That's actually a crazy thing.
Bruh.
You just fucked me up with that.
It's a new form to express yourself, communication at scale. That's what happened, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, people spend too much time judging art, and I always say, all right, once you get into the box, you're anti-art anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Like art cannot be put in a box. It's always in motion. It's always finding new forms of expression itself. And once art begins to be defined in a specific way, then it becomes a science.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the problem I always had with the older rappers, right? Wanting to hear a certain style. And it's like, yes, this style was new, creative, and abstract at one point in time. But then as the boxes became more and more defined, and then there was a specific formula to follow, those formulas made it a science. And I love science, but don't act like they're fucking up the art by doing something that's not that science.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everything becomes a science over time. That's why we follow those formulas. So it's a completely different thing, man. And yeah, I just hate when artists get affected by this in a way that limits themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, now I can't do that because I want to be seen as a real artist, right? Or I want to be respected, and that's not the way to go about it.
Yeah, bro. But artists don't be realizing, man, bro. There be other artists holding you back, man. They be saying shit like that. Meanwhile, you got a beautiful vision for your TikToks, and you stopping because of somebody was like, nah, real artists ain't on that shit. It's like, man, I've seen some masterpieces on. I know I've said that before, bro, but I've seen some masterpieces on TikTok, bro. Like some shit where I'm like, bro, I don't know who you are, what you do, or how you got this skill set, but like this shit needs to be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you chose TikTok and gave it to me for free, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
Thanks.
And then that was another point he had made too that I kind of wanted to touch on. Like,
let me see. Let me read back for you. He said the algorithms respond to engagement, not artistry, not creativity, not talent. That's why there is so much BS in the feed, because people love fuckery. If you're basing your art on what does well on the platform, that is geared towards shareable content, then the art suffers.
So what the algorithm responds to is whatever people find interesting, right? Like the algorithm is a mirror of cultural, not cultural expectations, but like where a particular culture is at in terms of like what they find entertaining, what they don't find entertaining, what they don't know. People don't like to admit that, I don't think, because then that means, I think to them that would say that, hey, that means the people didn't choose my content or choose my messaging or choose my art, which is typically the case, right? It's much easier to blame it on an invisible entity. I mean, I guess these people are still invisible, but an invisible entity, the big scary algorithm, than to say like, hey, my art wasn't communicated properly through this platform because people don't like it, right?
Yep.
And so we, I think as marketers, are able to see that because, you know, how many times have we seen like a trend die on TikTok because of how sick of it the community got, right? Like we talked about dances a couple episodes ago. Dances don't hit as much because the community as a whole is pretty sick of dancing. You know what I'm saying? They want to see other shit. How many times have we seen trends be birthed out of small community jokes on TikTok, right? Like there was a trend a couple of weeks ago where like a filter came out and like you're like riding in a boat, you know what I'm saying, across the sea, and it's like text on screen. It's like me on my way to do something like that. I remember watching that trend bubble, and it was like a very like joke within like a very small segment of TikTok. And then like somebody made like a funny ass meme and it just like spread out. Right. So it's like the algorithms on most platforms, I think to some degree they start by trying to like influence like what we see. You know, most of the platforms start as a blank slate to the people come, data comes, right? So they start trying to influence what we want to see. But after a while, the algorithm is typically a reflection of what people on the platform are looking for, especially with something like TikTok where everybody's For You page is like a thumbprint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like no two people's For You pages are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right. So I would just always look at that as a cop-out, is to say like, oh, the algorithms only push trash and garbage. Like, no, the algorithms push what people are showing they like. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you have your one or two posts here or there, you know what I'm saying? Like some sponsored posts, some big celebrity posts where like, yeah, 100% sure, they're doing that. But majority of the time, the people are choosing it because they're saying, hey, I like this thing. I find this thing entertaining. And like what I've seen, at least in the last couple of years of TikTok, is that almost any artistic vision can fit on there now. You know what I'm saying? Like Kato came from a time where like TikTok had very few boxes that you could fit in. You either was the cover guy, you was the dancing guy girl, right? You was the thirst trap girl, You was the comedy skit guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, he was one of the first people I saw do like the whole open verse thing.
But look, bro, that's what artists are supposed to do.
Yeah, they're supposed
That's
to open
the crazy part about it. Like, we're supposed to be artists, these pioneering people, barrier breakers, and then we see a platform and say, that's how it is. Oh my gosh, I can't go over there. Versus saying, I should go over there and do something different and make it work. Yeah. Right? But we misjudge things not working and blame it on the platform instead of looking at ourselves and say, hey, maybe it's not just that interesting. Mm-hmm. It's just not that interesting, rather.
Well, right? I haven't figured out how to be interesting there.
Because you got to make people, no, it's not that interesting. That's just what it is. It's interesting over here. Yeah. But the iteration here is not interesting in this context. And we know context matters, just like these people might like my music and these people might hate it, right? And you might have to tweak it to make those people hate it, change the BPMs or whatever. We say what they like. More importantly, is what they feel. Because we know people will share videos that they're angry about. All right. Do they like to be angry? I don't know, but we know our emotions drive us. Mm-hmm. You know, happy, sad, mad, whatever. So they're sharing and engaging with something that makes them feel. And I think that should speak to an artist more than anything. Right? What you feel. Be interesting. I remember Trevor Noah. You know who that is?
Come on, man.
Hey, man, look, bro. Hey, bro, people don't be knowing people. It's a lot of people in the world these days, right? And I was super early at Trevor Noah. I bet you didn't know Trevor Noah the first year I knew who he was.
I was on Trevor Noah early too, bro. I ain't trying to make this
we ain't about to do that.
Yeah, I'm
just saying. I'm just saying. So I had to put him on so many people. I know some people don't know him. But look, he said that, I remember he said that he was going on tour with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle invited him on his tour or his shows or something. And Trevor Noah was surprised. And he was like, yo, man, Dave Chappelle, you're Dave Chappelle. You can have anybody, you know what I mean? Like almost kind of like doubting, like, am I funny enough? Or like, you think I'm funny enough? And Dave Chappelle's response was some sense of, funny, whatever. Like, that's normal. And that's kind of like par for the course once you're at this level. Funny, whatever. What I like about you is that you're interesting. It's a difference.
So you'll see how this tie back.
Yeah, exactly. How many people, comedy, whatever, right? Or singers, they could be talented, they could hit every single note, but that shit don't make you feel nothing. Right? Or that song specifically just didn't do anything for you. Right? It's the full package, it's how things are put together, and it's an art form to understand the platform enough to be able to deliver it in that way. So, you know, I know that there's always going to be this argument every single time a new platform pops up, but you can't define art. Stop trying to put it in the box. Everything's just another tool. Everything is another canvas. Allow people to use it, and there's going to be different types of artists. At the very least, there's different type of artists, and you can just leave it at that.
Yeah, facts.
Now, with that being said, flipping the script just a little bit, we got to get into an amazing topic that we actually touched on already in a different episode, but I want to go deeper and bring it back because it's so valuable last time we touched on it. So have you made any marketing mistakes lately or before? And look, like we said last time we talked about this, if you haven't made any marketing mistakes in music, you probably ain't tried.
You ain't doing enough.
Right? Now, shout out to Damian White yet again for posing this topic in Brandman Network, but there's a lot of helpful stories. So I want to talk about some of the ones we didn't get to talk about last time. Terrence Hall said he almost made one, and he was about to pay a lot of money to a guaranteed views marketing platform. Look, y'all should already know what that is. We're not going to go too deep in that. Anytime anybody's guaranteeing something within marketing, outside of the fact that they're going to execute their service, then it's probably something a little fishy going on there. Like, no matter how experienced you are, like us, we still ain't guaranteeing shit half the time.
Nothing.
Right? It's just the way that it goes. Right? You can go deeper in that in another topic, but I feel like most of y'all get that. Now, Sage Wesley says he definitely changed some very valuable plans to get on radio, and I will say that hurt a lot. But besides that decision, I feel like most everything I've done so far has been towards the goal and worked out well. Not getting into ads earlier was my biggest regret. That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel that. I
Yeah,
feel the same way about Facebook ads.
Actually, I'm gonna let you talk because if I think about that subject, I might cry.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, because, well, for y'all listening, there's always a sweet period in every ad platform when it first starts where everything is just cheap.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to think. I first started learning how to use ads probably around like end of 2018, top of 2019 is when I started getting like decent at it. And I just remember talking to, if you talk to like any marketing OG that's been in the game for like 10, 20 years, they all talk about like that golden age of Facebook ads when like money was just flowing like water. The shit was easy. You know what I'm saying? Every ad was hitting crazy, 2 cent cost per conversion there, 5 cent here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just made so much money. And I think about that because I think that happened around like 20, maybe 15 to 18, somewhere in there, right? So I came in right at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I started learning how to use ads right at the end of it, bro.
Well,
crazy.
I mean, it was really even earlier.
Maybe like 13 to 17?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it was a slow build, but yeah, when it got really, really hot and the platform had enough people and the ads were really rolling, they had enough data to make things more accurate. No, it was that period right there, like you said. And it's what made me understand Gary Vee actually, even more so. Because he would always tell the story of how he was early to email marketing, and he was always tell the story of how he was early to Google Ads, and he was getting these crazy numbers, and he was like, oh my gosh, right? And he grew his dad's company from like 2 to 60 million, something like that, right? Which was great. But this goes back to that example that we feel a lot of times of artists when they hit a certain level, but they don't understand how far they could have gone. So we feel the pain because we know exactly what they could have done. Yeah. They don't realize they messed it up and only did half of what they could have done. Yeah. Like Gary Vee, the OG marketer who had that type of experience and was going through that experience that made him feel the pain of what could have been. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's just like how you said, I wish I was on Facebook early. He said he wish he was on Facebook ads earlier. You feel that pain. So that's why it makes all the sense in the world when you think about how hard Gary Vee went once all this social media stuff started happening, Facebook ads, why he was going so hard, it was coming from a place of pain at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, like missed opportunity. It's like I've already seen what this goes and I missed it last time. Yes. Because we were kind of the same way with TikTok when TikTok first started. It was like, hey, like we can assume that influencer marketing has had this impact on every other platform this early on, and we can assume it's going to have the same impact here. Let's trot it out and see. And it worked out, right? So, I 100% bury that lesson in the back of my brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, because every time I see some shit, I'm like, you know what? Let me gas this up now before, because every platform eventually comes along and makes things more expensive. If you don't know anything else, you know that eventually a new platform will become an old platform, which means that things will be more expensive. If you don't understand nothing else about social media and platform building. So now when I see some new shit come that like hits and it's working well, I know like, okay, I maybe have anywhere from a 6-month to a 2-year window of this being as effective as it is. 2-year window, yeah. You know what I'm saying? 6 to 2 months, depending on how fast things move, how quickly investors start believing in certain things and like other creators. It's like IGTV. Like I remember I like grew my majority of my Instagram following during the IGTV era. See, I'm glad you said this, right? Because it's not just the fact that new platforms will become old platforms, right? It's also the fact that new platforms will become old platforms or they'll fail to exist. Or new features will become old features that become more expensive or they will fail to exist, right? Vine was a period of time that blew up a lot of people and then some of them, made it to the next platform. They used that moment and transferred it. You used IGTV in that moment and it's transferred because you still have those followers, right? You still have been discovered. So no matter what, when you see something popping, if you're super early and you don't quite understand all the dynamics in tech and could get what help and what can help something last, you at least know I got this period of time. I just need to take advantage of this period of time. Gas it, bro. Period. Whatever's going on now, because it's not gonna last forever, whether it goes a slow death or an immediate one. Yeah. So, bro, that we feel you, obviously. We feel you. Ray Sabali said, I was told that if I follow certified accounts all day, every day, I will gain followers via the Instagram algorithm, and I ended up losing my account. I learned that there's no easy way out. Yeah, Ray. Ain't no easy way out. Now, there's windows where things become easier with the same amount of hard work.
Yeah, facts.
Hard work has to exist, but things get easier in windows. Momentum by yourself, right? Because sometimes it could be your own momentum where windows open up, or it could be momentum created by like a new platform, things like that. So, yeah, bro, I'm glad you learned that. I mean, no easy way out for sure. And yeah, that follow all those different types of things. That's
follow
interesting.
Trains.
Yeah.
Like for like trains.
Let me see. We got one last one by Willie Vision. He says, I paid $100 for 1,000 followers on Spotify. They were supposed to be human. I even got an email from Spotify congratulating me for reaching 1,000 followers. Ooh, I love when the scammers scam all the way, though, and pay attention to details. That's interesting. That's a wrong detail, but they were trying to go all the way, right?
Yeah.
It's Spotify would never do that. And 2 days later, the followers disappeared. To keep them artificially on requires the payment each month of $100, bro. Oh my gosh, are you hearing what he's saying?
The scam subscription fee,
bruh. A subscription? What? A subscription scam? This is a new one. The audacity. You gotta respect the audacity and hate the scam itself.
You got a song with it.
Sheesh. I'm gonna gas you up to 1,000 and charge you $100 a month to keep you
not
in
to
the
grow,
scam.
just to keep you there.
Just to keep you there, bruh.
That's crazy.
That's like some version of what, blackmailing or something?
Yeah. That was like, no, give my money back.
It's something. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. That's a new one. All right. Humans do not do this, right? Well, a human did it, but I know what you're talking about. They barely follow something 1 out of 1,000 streams and rarely take the time to unfollow it. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Especially something like Spotify.
That is true. It takes work to unfollow, for sure. A mere 2 days later, all these people unfollow me. I did this to test the PR system, and they lied about humans being involved. It's just bots. I would rather have 10 new humans as followers than 1,000 bots.
Facts.
Yes. Damian White said the same shit that we said. $100 a month for fake bot followers is a wild system. Yes, it is, bro. Hey, man. In some weird way, you made my day, bro. Every once in a while, you just hear some crazy shit. You kind of like, dang, bro. That was interesting. Yeah. That's a story I'm going to be telling. A subscription scam fee, bro. That's crazy. Well, look. Obviously, there's a lot of scams out here when it comes to the music marketing industry. And it sucks because I don't even want to say there's a lot of good marketers out there. There are good marketers out there, though. And the misinformation from the bad marketers, people who are just sharing information that don't quite even understand the information. Some of these channels that are like doing exposés on record labels and the industry and actually giving you bad information and scaring you off. All that stuff is misleading you. And then the real music marketers and the people who are actually good are struggling. Then the scammers are scamming people, and then people end up all scoring too. So it's like, it's actually, marketers got a little rough. I ain't complaining, but look, we dealing with a lot of ex-boyfriend and girlfriends type of energy.
Facts.
It's like, get rid of that baggage, bro.
I tell new marketers all the time, the biggest hurdle is convincing the other person that you're not about to scam them. That's the biggest hurdle in being a marketer, bro. Once you get them over that hump, it's usually pretty smooth after that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. It's sad that it's that simple, but that's the reality of the marketing climate. But look, we're doing the good work, fighting the good fight, trying to create a climate with more quality marketers out there. But we can only move but so fast.
So fast.
4 hands here, just 4 hands. Oh man. So the next topic. Artist, what is the best way to roll out a song in 2023? I think to get that answer, you should listen to the fans. This is what this fan is saying right here. She says, I am so for indie artists and I get the need for organic marketing, but it only took me a week to go from head bopping to scrolling and the song isn't even out yet. Now, what is she saying? I heard a teaser. All right. And I was bopping my head. This shit go hard. I love it. And then next thing you know, all right, within a week, I'm used to this. I've heard it multiple times. I kind of forgot. I'm not as interested, and the song isn't even out yet. Now, bro, that's a week. Like, that's not that long, dog. Like, she's saying it, but I guess she kind of says it only took a week. But man, you kind of, I don't know. I respect it. I respect it, right? Because she also acknowledges, she understands that artists need this, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we'll get to why this is important. I'm going to still stream it, she says. I'm going to still stream it, though, because I was vibing with it and hope she gets paid. So that's the part that helps. That's a fan. See, that's a fan. You gotta respect this chick. You gotta respect this chick. She understands that you need to do promo. So she's partaking in your promo and listening so you can build up in that experience. She actually likes the music and she's still gonna stream it, even though she's less interested. But she also just gave you this game. Yo, I'm less interested. I need you to move this thing along. Right? Now, what does this mean at the end of the day? Where are we when it comes to music marketing rollouts because of the TikTok client? We've said this for years. Everybody's been saying this is no surprise in terms of the shorter and shorter attention span that people have been getting. All right. It sucks, but it is what it is. All we can do is deal with it, not try to change it. When we're working on our own individual projects. So you cannot spend forever doing a rollout. You can't.
You barely spend 2 weeks.
You barely spend 2 weeks, and you better have a lot of people rocking with you. Now, there's a couple of ways that we can approach this to navigate it. But the base advice and thought that you should be thinking now is eliminate pre-rollouts. Go that hard with it. Sacrifice any pre-rollout. Only rely on my creativity post-rollout. Spend all my energy there. And I've been saying this for years, just from the standpoint of, like, if you don't got a lot of money, attention is expensive. It's hard to get attention. So you might as well have that thing out so they can find it as soon as it's out versus people looking for it and it's not out. And now they don't see your next post when it finally comes out and they just forgot about it, right? Yeah. Or now I got to run another ad to remind them that it's out after I ran the first ad to tell them it was coming out. And I really didn't have money to do that. So I'm probably don't even have enough money to let everybody know, right? That has always been a bad strategy for the artist on a budget, right? Yeah. Now, with that being said, though, you add this element of the low attention span, the shorter and shorter attention span, and the competitive market of always being saturated with music left and right. Like she said, bro, it's a week later. I'm done with this thing. And we've seen it. Yeah,
I've seen it.
Some examples that hurt, you know what I mean? Songs that should have been came out, but they took a while, right? And fans have turned. They got angry. And then Sam mentioned, it's funny, Sam mentioned some artist that I had never heard of until 2 days prior when I was talking to an artist. I thought the artist was Australian because I was talking to some Australian people. I was talking to Fash and his manager, but apparently they're not. But it's happening to them right now. Like, people are mad because she is not dropping the song fast enough. Do you remember the name of that artist?
No, I don't remember. I remember the story, but no, I had never heard of it.
May. I feel like May was part of her name or something like that.
Like MEI or something like that?
I don't know. Nah, let's not get into all that. I'm gonna lead you astray. Anyway, it's happening with an artist right now. It happened with Sam Smith last year.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Sam Smith on the level that Sam Smith is, was taking a minute to drop a track, and people were like, yo, bro, I'm not rocking with it anymore. As a matter of fact, we had some comments for him. I'll try to pull them up. All right, so here's some of these comments on Sam Smith's post, one of his promos. I'm not even excited anymore. I'm just annoyed. I'm already over the song, and it ain't even out yet. In the same way, your promo can go viral, and goodwill for your song can go viral. Bad will can go viral just as fast.
Yeah.
So keep this in mind. How could you do us like this? We've been waiting. Another comment. The extension better be so it can be changed. No, so it can change to actually be about a mechanic. Okay, that's a inside joke related to the actual song and everything. That's different. But he did get his album extended, which made people upset even more. This is the song. Release now. Excuse me, you originally said the 12th, then the 15th, now the 22nd. People are getting angry. We've seen that happen before. I will be pretty upset if this is the only good part of the song. And that is another part. Like, people kind of get that suspense and anxiety, like, yo, I keep hearing this part. Why do I only keep hearing this part? Is the rest of it not good? That's a real thing that people wonder, right? And another one says, no, see, I get it. But at this point, I've heard it too many times to care about the actual drop. Fans are telling you this. Listen to the feedback, bro. It's right there. So don't put yourself at risk. And here's a few ways to think about this and navigate this whole situation. So, number one, if you are dropping a song, all right, and you want to do promo, you can start by just say, hey, I'm only going to do post promo. That's the easiest way out, all right? Option number two, you could be a big star. Now, if you're a big star, why is this relevant? Big stars who are already in an infrastructure, like a label system, they have resources to push beyond TikTok. So there might be this massive groundswell on TikTok that's angry that you haven't put it out, but still there's so many people that are not on TikTok that they have reach and access to that they can just lean over there, rely on that, push on the radio, Instagram, and all these other places where the bad will hasn't really gained yet. And then TikTok has time to catch up, right? You know, like, all right, babe, like, I know you're not talking to me right now, but I'm gonna be downstairs. You know what I mean? Like, they can do that to you. So there's that. But the problem is a young artist or aspiring artist, or let's just say an artist without the leverage of a label, and TikTok is your momentum. That is the biggest momentum that you're going to get. There's nothing greater than that. And you don't have the resources and amount of people incentivized to try to push you over the hump anyway to actually get over that hump.
Yeah.
Like, you actually are going to negatively impact your brand, not just that song, probably your brand and your opportunity to move like that again.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. So be a big star is the third way. Now, here's the ways that if you want to do some pre-release, you can do a longer pre-release, but you have to be a little bit more creative. And you referenced this before, Jacory. So doing song rollouts or project rollouts that aren't about the song or the project. More specifically, don't have the song or project music in it. Right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the Drake 21 Savage campaign, right? Oh, it's the Vanity Fair, like these fake covers, and we're doing all this stuff that's not actually the song itself. So they don't actually get tired of the song. They build hype that something's coming out, but they never hear the thing to truly judge the thing and feel direct suspense about that.
Yeah.
All right. It's going to buy you more time. It's never going to buy you forever, but it's definitely going to buy you more time. But, you know, there's been projects where we never heard the music and like, bro, it's been 5 years. Like Dr. Dre still ain't dropped. I can't remember what he hasn't dropped. It's been so damn long.
Chronic?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Exactly. The next Chronic. But like, seriously, you can do these creative things, promoting a song related to a song, or just saying, I'm coming out with something, right? Depending on where your audience is, your base is. You can create things around it that allude to the story, right? Short skits, whatever, that don't play the music itself, which will extend the pre-release. And then maybe you do it one time leading into it, all right? Or a couple times, but the song needs to come out fast after that happens. The last thing is very simple. It's something I use, which is that best part of the song that you know you're going to push for real. Don't tease that part. Tease another part of the song. So then they got a mix up. And then they catch a little surprise. And even if they do get tired or judge something, it's based not on the best part of the song. So there's still a gem. And once you start doing the promo, it's like, yo, this is crazy. This is new. This is fresh. And now I want to hear the rest of it and how they connected that other part they played with this amazing part that I love so much.
Yeah.
All right. Those help navigate the situation. And y'all could play those 5 different solutions back, but it's difficult. And teasing today, as beautiful as it is to tease and then be able to release a song after you see some hype built for it, you need to be able to do it in a timely manner. Don't be in a situation where the song's not finished at all.
Man.
Right?
Man.
Right? Also, just be in a situation where you already know what to do when it drops.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm going to do this, that, and the third. I don't have this budget, right, that I want to apply to this song if something does happen. You always need to have like that at the back of your head. Whenever something drops and you tease something, it could go at any time, and you need to have some sense of what you should be able to do if that happens, right? One thing you can do is do the fake tease when really you know it's coming out anyway, but you act like it's not coming out, or you were just teasing it organically. Oh my gosh, y'all really like it? 3 days later, it's out. We've seen that. I forgot you pointed that out about somebody recently too.
It was a guy on TikTok.
It was, yeah, and it kind of just debunked his old shit. But I guess we're not gonna do it out here this episode, or did we do it on the episode and put it out? I can't remember.
I don't think it got put up.
All right,
That's
cool.
one of the ones we trashed.
Oh, dang, saved. Saved. Okay. Well, look, those are just a few things when it comes to the pre-release, how you think about it today if you want to navigate the pre-release. And then, of course, there's an entire post-release strategy playbook that we might go even deeper into on another episode. You want to do like more of a point-by-point episode and cover a whole segment on that, or do you just want to just throw like a 2-sentence statement on them right quick and be done?
No, I feel like the whole segment could be far.
We can do that?
Yeah, that could be hard.
Bet. So just wait on that. See, there goes a tease. That's how you do it. Which you ain't get no tips. You ain't get no tips. Oh, man. But all right, so moving on though. How can you be fake and get real engagement? That's the best way to think about this tip, and something that every one of us can do, but everybody is not brave enough to do it.
You put mistakes in the videos so you can get comments.
I mean, it's like a social engineering the comment section. Right. So it's like the most popular one was I did like a Tic Tac organizer. Okay. So it's like so that the Tic Tacs don't shake. You could do 16 on one side and 16 on the other that fit back into the Tic Tac box. And I said, so there's 16 on this side, 16 on this side. That makes 36 Tic Tacs. That video has 20,000 comments of people telling me it's 32, not 36.
That's why they have the evil in your evil genius.
Right, exactly.
Beautiful. Very simple. Very simple. This is why I said a lot of people won't do it though. Why? Because of the judgment aspect of it.
Yeah, nobody wants to look stupid.
Nobody wants to look stupid.
A bunch of strangers on the internet. But I
was like real life SpongeBob.
Yeah, those are strangers. But no, it's real though. Like I like social engineering, things like this where like you can play off of negative parts of people, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I know that people, especially on the internet, just cannot resist the urge to correct a random person they've never met in their life about the smallest thing that they, we all are human. Like, hey, there's a good chance this person was just moving fast and forgot. But I need to tell them that end and the single is too far apart from what it's supposed to be.
Bruh. It was 100-word post and they misspelled one word, and somehow
shit turned to an essay.
Hey, exactly. I gotta respond and feel like, yeah, they got all those other words right, but
this dumbass forgot this this one part. Everything else is great, but there's one part right here.
Why is that beautiful? How can artists apply it?
So I think one, just paying attention to like what triggers your audience. Not even always your audience. Just let's say people at the surface level, and then your audience as you build and are able to get more specific.
I was gonna say, because the best people to trigger are the people
that don't know you.
I wasn't gonna say that. Your audience is villain.
Wait, what you mean?
There's some audiences that have an innate villain.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
right?
Yeah.
In public, there's a like, oh, this is my social agenda, and then there's some people who are against that social agenda. Yeah. So I'm going to anger the people who are against it to make the people who are for it stand stronger.
Yeah.
Uprise. Be like, oh man, see, there those people go again. It's like the Beyonce example I always use. Super Bowl, right? You remember Her, Bruno Mars, love that performance, and good job Coldplay for inviting them out. At that performance, I watched it and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing! That was great." I really felt refreshed. I was happy. People I knew that were happy enjoyed that performance, and then that was the end of it. Good stuff. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Did you like that performance?
It was cool.
All right. You got some work on your judgment to do. It was amazing. Now, what happened after that? You remember what happened after that?
Somebody fucked up. Did somebody fuck up?
Beyonce fucked up in the performance. She fell a little bit, and that kind of became a thing. And she recovered, and the recovery became a marketing.
Was this her Black Panther performance?
That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look, I didn't even think about it and notice it because I'm just black. Sometimes, man, bro, you can see Black Panther stuff and not even be Black Panther because that's just how ingrained it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there and not always just to shout that out. But yes, people were angry because she was repping the Black Panthers. And that was when I first truly started to understand how some people view the Black Panthers in this extremist way, right? And allowed the government to manipulate their opinion of the Black Panthers, right? And of course, like all groups, maybe there's some people that whatever, but no, like we know by and large, the Black community generally doesn't look at it that way, right? So you see all this uproar. The community that understands and sees the Black Panthers in a more positive perspective would see that performance, and then there's no virality or emotion that came from it. From the Black Panther aspect of it, right? It just is what it is. Oh, yeah, cool, whatever. Keep moving. But then the people who are angered by that, the villain of that community in that particular issue, they got angry. And then when the community that supports or views them more positively learned of the people getting angry and spewing their comments and the hate and da-da-da, that's when you create the friction. That's when you create the virality, the polarity, and things take off to another level. All right. So that's how it works. You can't just introduce a message to an audience that agrees with it when you're working in those type of landscapes. It's best, if we're talking about virality, social engineering, to introduce it to the crowd that hates it. And then tell the crowd that loves it how the crowd that hates it is acting.
That's true. That's true.
It's a whole game you have to play. Yeah. So it should just be falling on deaf ears. It's like, oh yeah, good job, that's dope. Because you gave it to the people that love it. And now you're mad, they just kept moving.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that virality typically comes from people that don't agree with the thing that you did. Like even he spoke on the video, hey, it went viral because people were correcting me on my thing. His audience probably didn't care. They probably was like, oh, he made a mistake in the thing and kept it pushing. It's probably random people on the For You page. Oh, this stupid motherfucker.
Yep.
Misspelled this word. Yep. Dumbass. You know what I'm saying? So, and man, like I know artists, content creators in general, typically dislike those type of people, right? Like those are the people that give most creators and artists like anxiety about posting, makes them scared to check their DMs.
They dislike which type of people?
Like the trolly people that come and stuff like that.
For sure.
But what they fail to realize is that those are some of the easiest people to trigger, bro. You want a viral moment? Find that group of people and fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Do something to piss them off. Respond to their comment in a certain way. Watch how they hit you back with 8 more that boost your engagement on your video. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, like, I think like this is a great example because I mean he's just going off of something as simple as like, you know, a clerical error, like I made a mistake. But I do think you can be intentional in your viral campaigns about like what emotion do I want to trigger in people and then work it backwards from there, right? So I don't remember what article I got this from. But this was something like super early in like our influencer marketing strategy building where I remember reading this thing that was like, if you want something to go viral, the easiest emotions to trigger are laughter, anger, sadness, and there was one other thing. I can't remember what the fourth thing was, but it was like these 4 emotions. Like if you can like trigger something in one of these buckets, like to an extreme degree, that shit's probably going viral. You know what I'm saying? So now I even think about it with our influencer campaigns or just viral campaigns in general. It's like, all right, what is the top of line emotion that we're trying to hit? Right? We're trying to piss people off. We're trying to make them sad. We're trying to make them laugh. We're trying to make them feel like romantic and lovey. And then you work it backwards from there. Okay, what's the core idea? And then how am I going to communicate the idea? And then what are some like little dressings I can add on top to like really set it off? You know what I'm saying? Make it look super organic. So yeah, I think the thing I want people to take away from that is like, you know, yeah, like it sounds messed up to say, but like figure out what triggers the group of people you're trying to get in front of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, especially if they're your audience, then maybe you walk that line pretty tightly. But if they're not your audience, hey man, it's all's fair in love and war, bro. You know, all's fair when you building the fan base, man.
Hey man, look, the thing is, you don't have to do it in that way, where you're making a clerical error, mistake.
Yeah.
Right. You can also do it in a way where it's less of a mistake. It's just, I don't even know what to call it, intrigue or something. So here's an example to better display what I'm talking about. Let's say I'm rapping and I'm on the street. I'm rapping. All right. Better yet, I'm singing. I like that better. I'm singing on the street and I'm killing it. All right. And then in the video, there's this monkey that does a backflip.
Yeah.
I'm not acknowledging it. I'm singing and everything. And maybe I don't actually know when I'm recording the video. But then when you post that video, what's going to happen? Is anybody going to say anything about the monkey doing a backflip in the back?
Y'all see that monkey?
All right. And she's killing at the same time. It becomes these extra things, like these Easter eggs for people to talk about and create conversation. So it all comes down to creating conversation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, the social engineering aspect just comes from, you know, creating an environment intentionally to encourage that conversation, you know, no matter where it comes from.
Yeah, there was this one artist I follow on TikTok, this rapper named Akintoye. And I remember his early viral videos, he used to wear like I still think he wears like a bonnet in his videos while he's freestyling.
Really?
Yeah.
He does?
So like he wears the bonnet while he freestyles. Like it was one day where I scrolled through his page and saw the point where he first started doing it. And then the initial comments was like, oh, you know, you look, you know, insert slur here. You know what I'm saying? Take that bonnet off, all like real rappers on blah, blah. And I feel like there was a point where like he looked at that shit and was like, oh, this particular group of rap connoisseurs, as we should call them, are triggered by this satin fabric on my head. And it's raking in the views. It's causing people to defend me, right? It's overall boosting my profile. And then if you go look at his page, he's always rapping in a bonnet. You know what I'm saying? I think he's been doing it. I don't know if he stopped because I haven't super looked at his content recently, but I mean, he rode that train for like a good like year and some change. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
And so like, he comes from what I feel like is a model of me, man. If I find something that is triggering a group of people, I'm riding that wave forever. Great example, 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine rode that trigger wave for the outside audience until the goddamn feds got him, bro. If the feds had never stopped him, who knows what type of menace he would have still been today.
Hey, bro.
And that's how I feel, bro. Ride that shit.
To the feds get you.
To the feds get you, bro.
Not the wheels fall off. To the feds get you. Hey, that's a new way, bro. Oh, man. Well, hey, I think that's the perfect way to get up out of here, dog.
Hey, man, no bullshit. But I kicked the dough in, bro.
Hey, I'm Breadman Sean.
I'm Corey.
And we out. Peace.